Howdy do everyone, and welcome back to the show. Today we are setting up some stuff for a new adventure. We're going to be getting some ducks here on the homestead, and we're going to be building shelter. We're going to set up a pond, and I've started setting up some fencing. I don't imagine most of y'all out there need instruction on fencing, so when I start rolling out my fence, I'll probably just do you a hyper fast setup of that fence, and then we'll show you more of the fun projects, like setting up a duck house using this. I think it's about a 5-foot spool that used to house probably conduit or service cable. See what we can do with this. So what we're gonna have to do is dismantle one of these, maybe even 2 of them, depending on what you got available to you. And you have bolts that run straight through this cable, the spool, and they hold slats on. These guys here. So running across from this side to that side, there's these board slats. But there's also this bolt that runs clear through it. And you're gonna have to have help to do this, because once you loosen up this bolt, it just spins freely inside of the hole, and you have to have somebody over there stabilizing the bolt just so you can, or the nut, so you can unscrew it all the way. So this big old guy here, it goes all the way through, and then it sandwiches that board in between the 2 ends of the spool. Real simple to dismantle that. We'll get to work on that real quick. All right, everybody, so it's Super Bowl Sunday, and that's as far as I'm gonna make it for the day. And we got 2 bolt C's. I'm gonna put some anti-seize on it and let it sit, and then I'll spray it again, and I'll spray it again, and then hopefully I'll be able to get it off without having to get in there and cut it somehow. All right, I'm unable to get 2 of these bolts off of here, so I'm gonna have to take this plunge saw, cut out one of these boards. I'll be able to access the bolt, and I'll have to cut 2 of the bolts out. So wind's kind of moving, so I don't know how well the microphone's gonna do. I'm just gonna put you in time-lapse mode. See you at the end. See what's going on in here. There's one of our bolts. There's this fancy metal ring to help keep everything stable so it doesn't collapse as easy, I guess. I was hoping to save this board, but it wasn't playing nice after I cut it, so I just had to whack on it. So now I gotta cut these boards out, or these bolts out. All right, the first one went so quickly, I'll go ahead and risk putting the regular speed on here. You know, there's a lot of jokes to be had right here about being bent over a barrel, but you know, I really don't think it's funny. No. Hey, sweet pea. Now this other bolt's a little bit harder because I don't quite have as much room as I did as I did when I was working on the one that was clear up top. Yeah, let me see if this guy can cut on it. It seemed a little bit softer metal than I thought it would be. not construction grade bolts. That's for sure. There it goes. Just a few sturdy whacks with a hammer. And I finished it off. All right, now for the best part, let's see if we can make the dominoes fall without falling on us. Let's see. Boom, baby. Oh, and it took out my drink. All right, now I got all these parts from these two reels. I gotta reassemble them in a way that's gonna make a duck house. How am I gonna do that, you might ask? That's a good question. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, kind of man with no plan sort of thing. All right, well, let me get to thinking and then I'll come back to it. Meanwhile, our neighbor came by and look what he did for me. He tipped my hot tub up on end so that I can reach the underside without having to go through the man door. That's a nice neighbor for you. Okay, so I just set these up here to kind of lay them out, but I think this is the design I'm gonna go with. We got these boards just laying up here, and I'll screw them up into here all the way around. It took 2 reels to do this. The other option I would have is laying tin around the outside, and in that case I could probably remove half of these boards. So I'm gonna think on it before I make a firm decision. But you're gonna take two reel ends here, and then you're gonna use one for a roof. This is probably gonna be the end of this video because, well, I don't have enough time left in the day. It's probably going to rain for the next week. Welcome to Oregon. And then I'll be able to actually get to working on this again. So you'll see this video will probably just be a deconstruction. And then video number 2 will be a construction phase. And by then I will have decided whether I'm gonna stick with all these staves around the outside or if I'm gonna move to aluminum siding, because I have some laying around. All right, well, that's it for today. See what trouble I can get into tomorrow. Later.